Today, we'll be getting into all the exciting announcements coming out of the D23 event in California this weekend. It's a lot, so get ready. Hello and welcome to the Let's Go to Disney podcast. I'm Oliver.
And I'm Lucy.
Today is Sunday, August 11th, and you're listening to episode 48, D23 Disney Parks Announcements. Before we get into today's main topic, here's what's going on in the parks right now. So the biggest news of the week is happening as we speak. We got a lot on Friday, a ton on Saturday, with more trickling in today. So today's episode is all about what we know so far with a heavy emphasis on Horizons Experiences Showcase, which is the specific event where the big park announcements come from. Friday, August 9th was the first Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. Yes, more than 11 weeks before Halloween. We bought our tickets for the party this week. We'll be there on September 24th, and we can't wait. Several party dates still have tickets available, but don't wait too long. Dates are starting to sell out, so if you're planning on going, get your tickets soon. Disney is slowly announcing more and more food and wine booths as the start of the festival approaches on August 29th. We will more than likely see the foodie guide appear on the Disney Parks blog website very soon, and we'll cover that on the podcast the week it's released. Okay, so let's get into what we really want to talk about and can't wait to talk about. We've been buzzing about it all night and all day today. Lucy and I are so excited with everything that's been announced, and we're looking forward to unpacking that with you today. So this is a news episode this week because, in case this is news to you, we got some major park news from Walt Disney World, Disneyland, and the international parks last night at the D23 Horizons Experiences Showcase. So a little background here in terms of what exactly the D23 event is. So D23, it's essentially a fan event that showcases everything that Disney is working on and things to come. It covers not just theme parks, but entertainment like movies and series and beyond. Inevitably, the most anticipated and exciting announcements come from the parks announcements, right? Because that's what like most people are looking forward to, because typically speaking, like big projects, this is where they come from. And this year was no different. Yep. Leading up to the event, speculation was running wild with anticipation in terms of the announcements and updates on some of the projects that Disney has brought up at past events or, media releases. So historically, right, like I said, this is where Disney will announce those major projects like new lands, as well as like blue sky projects, which are projects that Disney is thinking up, but have not yet confirmed to be happening for certain. So last year, the Destination D23 event was in Orlando at Walt Disney World. And this year it's back in Anaheim, which is its usual home. Yeah,
absolutely. So last night's event dropped some news that we were expecting, like updates on Dinoland USA and changes coming to that with the Tropical Americas themed land, which we'll get into in a minute, as well as some bombshell announcements. A bombshell. I saw some videos of people hearing those announcements. Yeah. In the auditorium.
Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah.
It was bombshell. It shocked the crowds. And we are so excited to think about all of these new changes that are coming. We're literally vibrating from all the updates that were coming in. We actually have our neighbors there right now at the D23 event. So she's been posting, and we're very jealous of them right now.
Yeah, we're so jealous of her.
Jamie,
and
Brad, we're so jealous.
And Jamie, I want to shout her out because she also, she posts reels, and she has her YouTube channel.
She's a Disney travel agent.
I'll have to share it with you guys, but essentially she had a TikTok reel that popped off. It has 3.1 million views from last I saw. So good for her. Her following is blowing up.
Yeah,
but anyways,
they're great neighbors.
Yeah, 100%.
So we can't wait to unpack it here today because there's so much coming and there's a lot to be excited about over the coming years. So much to be excited about.
Agreed.
We'll preface this the same ways that Josh D'Amaro, who is actually the chairman of Disney Experiences, did last night. All of these projects aren't blue sky. They are going to do all of these that were announced. They are ready to go. Plans are in action. All of these projects are confirmed to be happening, and work has already started on some of them. This is a significant piece because historically, Disney is careful when they bring up blue sky ideas to say that they are not confirmed projects, but that they went out of their way yesterday to make it very clear these are happening. This is ultra exciting. The ones 100%. That were announced, this is going to be amazing.
Yeah, and it's interesting. It's interesting that they took that stance because, like Lucy said, usually they'll announce some blue sky projects and conceptual things that are not confirmed. But D'Amaro said, this is not blue sky. This is happening.
Absolutely. As we can imagine, the Imagineers are constantly thinking up ideas and stuff like that.
Oh, for sure they are. Absolutely.
I can't even imagine the roundtable discussions that they must have. So
what an awesome job they have.
They have a pretty awesome job. I agree. But these are it. These are concrete. So here we go.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we won't keep you in suspense any longer, so let's dive right in. So probably the most exciting news of the night, which is saying something because there was a lot that was announced to be happening, but there's a Villains Land coming to the Magic Kingdom. So Josh D'Amaro made the announcement with a larger-than-life magic mirror on a large screen behind him and flames shooting up from the stage. And I can only imagine what the excitement was like being in that room when this was announced. This is such a long time coming and something that fans have been asking for like literally so long. So it's great to see that it's finally happening. Obviously, Disney has been listening to their fan base here, and they're making a lot of people's dream come true in making this land a reality.
Absolutely. Your sister is a huge Villains fan.
Agreed.
And she always is so disappointed that the lack of merchandise is never there for the villains, except for maybe around like Halloween time, which she's never been there for Halloween. So,
and you'll have to imagine there'll be merchandise locations there.
God, it's going to be overwhelming with merchandise.
So exactly, 100%. And, Disney said, quote, "This new land will be home to Disney villains we know and loathe from our favorite Walt Disney Animation Studios classic films, which means happily ever after may feel like just a distant dream." Okay, so
love it.
They further said that this land will be dark and thorny and a nod to Sleeping Beauty. And we think that like Maleficent, not Sleeping Beauty, right? Like,
she won't
exactly.
be there.
It's going to be the villain, right?
The dragon and Maleficent will be there.
and that gets essentially should be prepared for chaos, right? So Disney said the new space will house 2 major attractions, dining options and shopping in a like huge scale, like on a huge scale. It's going to be unreal. D'Amaro went on to say, quote, "It's going to be a fearless new vision for what a Disney experience can be." They said preparation is already underway for the development of the land, but unlike some of the other announcements that were made last night, there was no specific timeline or even a hint at a timeline for when work on this land would start. So we think that some of these projects will start much before this one, but it's still exciting nonetheless. We just don't have a timeline for it.
Yeah, absolutely. So they shared a concept art photo with this, and my God, it looks unreal. It's subtle, but if you study the details, it reveals a lot of what this could actually look like. You see the dragon from Sleeping Beauty breathing fire, an area where there are buildings which could turn into shopping and dining. There's an area that kind of looks underground, but the ground has split and there's an ominous blue glow coming from the depths. And then it kind of looks like there's a roller coaster track there and a ride vehicle zooming right through it. So are we going to be getting an underground coaster?
Like, you can't help but envision that. Like, if you look at this photo, it's exactly what Lucy's describing. So essentially the ground has split, right? Like in an earthquake or whatever. And there's like this greenish,
it's the glow.
Bluish glow. And then there's like, you can't mistake it. It's a ride vehicle and it's a track. So
absolutely.
Like, again, like just thinking about that is like, it's exciting.
That kind of we love thrill coasters. So for us, that would be amazing. Like we said, when you look at this, it's unreal. It looks like there's another roller coaster potentially set in a jagged mountains with the Forbidden Mountain and Maleficent's castle in the background. It looks so cool. So either this will be like a continuation of that one coaster we were just talking about, or there's 2.
Exactly.
Hey, we'll take 2. So the thought of this is just so amazing, and Disney has the opportunity here to do something really special that's going to resonate with their fan base. So we cannot wait to hear and see more details as they emerge in the coming months and years. This is going to be a top-notch one, I think.
Agreed. Yeah. Like really, like they knocked it out of the park with this announcement. It's going to get a lot of people excited. And they did it last, I think, too, hey? The announcement? Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was one of the last ones to come out. And for obvious reasons, right? They knew that was going to be like huge.
The one.
Good. So we talked about this recently in our Epic Universe recap episode, and we don't like to pit Universal against Disney and vice versa, but with the imminent opening of Epic Universe and the slow roll of the announcements of each new land, they were dominating the conversation when it came to new and exciting changes to the Orlando parks. Well, Disney has answered in a major way with their own dark land. So again, this is only good for both Disney and Universal.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like the Villains Land at Disney fills a need and a want that's been there for some time. And there's really so much they can do with this. They'll be able to incorporate some fun here during the Halloween season. And, during Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party as well. The opportunities are literally endless. They're really expanding the park in a meaningful way. And the fact that they're doing it at Magic Kingdom, the flagship park, it's even more significant. Like, this is awesome. Like, I can't envision like a better outcome for a Villains Land.
Absolutely. This people ask us all the time, don't you guys get sick of going back to Disney? No, because this is why.
This is why,
this
people.
Is why.
Yeah.
Like this probably will not be ready to go for another 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, agreed.
Maybe.
2030 at
so
least.
So you'll have me in 4 or 5 years for sure, coming to check that out and ride all the other rides too. So one thing we're curious to know is where it's going. Like, what area of the park is it going to be added to? Is this going to be beyond Big Thunder? There's actually a Cars area coming, which we're going to get to in a minute. And we know that's going in Frontierland. So that will have to be maybe somewhere else? If so, where? Could it be behind Fantasyland, like behind Be Our Guest and Gaston's Tavern area as a contrast to Fantasyland right next to it? It's so exciting to think about. We're really not sure at this point. They haven't announced it, so time will tell. We just have to be kind of patient on that.
And agreed. And like, this is where like I kind of dream it should be. And Lucy hit it like on the head by saying that like at the back of Fantasyland, behind Be Our Guest, essentially. Like if you look on a map, like a Google map, there's tons of room back there. Like they can.
Well, and you can see the castle in the far distance. That's the last thing you see, and you don't know what's beyond there.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like they could definitely do it back there. There's definitely space for it. It would make sense. But again, like I'm sure they know exactly where it's going, and it's been decided for some time. So
I'm sure
we'll hear more as time advances. Okay, next big announcement, Magic Kingdom is getting a Cars area, right? Like we just alluded to, and that will be a departure from Radiator Springs into New Frontiers. This is what Disney's saying, right? So it's a not so subtle way of saying that this new area is being added to the existing Frontierland. This new area will house not one, but 2 new Cars themed attractions. The first will be a thrilling rally race through the mountains where you'll, quote, take on wild terrain as you race across the landscape, climbing mountain trails, dodging geysers, and Mater's favorite, splashing through mud holes. Little was said on the second attraction, but they did say it will be geared towards the younger guests and it will be fun for the whole family. They shared concept art from the attractions, and it looks as though the ride vehicles will be like essentially a car, and you're going to speed along a mud trail. It goes up into the mountain, crosses a bridge that connects 2 rock mountains. It all looks really, really, really good. We have no idea how they're going to pull this off or what technology this would employ to bring it to life, but it looks amazing, and we can only assume that it's going to be a wild experience, and it's sure to appeal to like a lot of people, right? A lot of different types of guests. The Radiator Springs area of California Adventure over in Disneyland, like on the West Coast, is like wildly popular, right? It was so well done. Popular, it looks so good. And I think it's safe to say we're going to get something awesome on the East Coast as well.
Absolutely. Like you don't have to be the biggest Cars fan to appreciate.
Oh, of course.
You don't have to be the biggest Disney fan to appreciate everything that is ever created in the parks.
100%. Like if you just have an appreciation for the level of detail and effort that goes into these lands, right? Like Galaxy's Edge, like Radiator Springs, like it does Avatar, it doesn't matter where you are, you kind of see the details and it's unreal.
So we know this is coming to Frontierland, and based on the concept art and the mountain that they have in the background, they will match nicely with the attractions that are already there. So think Big Thunder Mountain Railroad and Tiana's Bayou Adventure. We think it stands to reason and would make sense that this would be the area beyond Big Thunder, given that it's going to become part of Frontierland, but we're not sure where else it would go. It's really the only place that kind of makes sense.
I'm not sure where else it would go.
I'm trying to picture it, and that's all that I can think of right now. So the good part is that Disney said that the work on this area is going to begin soon. So think early 2025. So it won't be too long before we get more details, and we're going to know exactly where this is slotted to exist in the currently existing areas of Frontierland.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. Okay, this is future Oliver and Lucy with an announcement that puts the speculation to rest about where the villains land and Cars area will go inside Magic Kingdom. So early this morning on August 12th, Disney released details that Villains Land is going to be beyond Big Thunder. This confirms that this was the land that Disney had previously teased as going beyond Big Thunder and will expand that area by multiple acres.
And for the Cars area, they announced that, quote, to make way for this completely new frontier, the rivers of America and Tom Sawyer Island will be transformed into vast and rugged terrains for a rally race with some of the world's most iconic racers.
They also released a concept art photo alongside this announcement, and it's pretty hard to describe, but looking at the photo, you can see Big Thunder Mountain Railroad at the very back, and it looks as though Tom Sawyer Island has been reclaimed and built up. So there's no water to be seen like anywhere in that photo, which leads us to believe that the riverboat will also be permanently closed as a result when construction begins on this land. It's hard to decrypt exactly what this might look like, but one thing is for certain, this is going to be like a huge change, a significant change to the landscape of Frontierland and Liberty Square at Magic Kingdom.
Absolutely. It's completely changing Liberty Square by getting rid of the boat.
100%.
If that's what ends up happening.
When you imagine the backdrop of Liberty Square, like when you're near Haunted Mansion, that's going to be...
You hear the boat, you see the boat, you see the water. When you're in the queue for Haunted Mansion, on the longer queue, you're looking into the water. So I guess you'll just be looking into cars all the time.
You must be, yeah.
That's kind of cool too, but it's going to be a change.
It's going to be a huge change.
Absolutely. So they also said that work is going to be revving into high gear next year. So we don't know exactly when this is going to start, but we know it'll be sometime in 2025. So if you've got a trip planned for some time in the next year, make sure you take a ride on the riverboat one last time and take a stroll around Tom Sawyer Island while you still can.
Yes, agreed.
We'll definitely be doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be in September.
We don't necessarily always go to Tom Sawyer Island when we're there.
Not every time.
And it'll be a must this time.
Exactly. All right. So with that said, we'll take you back to your regularly scheduled programming. Okay. The next wild announcement that came out of left field and certainly caught us off guard in the best possible way. There's a new Monsters Inc. land coming to Hollywood Studios. Okay, so DeMauro and Billy Crystal took to the stage as well for this announcement. And essentially they're building a whole land themed to Monstropolis, where you'll be able to roam the streets and experience the world of Monsters Inc. in a life-size setting. Okay, so Disney said, quote, picking up after the events of Pixar's beloved film, humans have now been invited to visit the world of Monsters Inc. And the monsters need laughter to power the city and keep it running smoothly. But it's not a true visit without the factory itself. DeMauro went on to say that you'll go into the factory and experience the first suspended coaster ever in a Disney park, right? Yeah, 100%. So they said, quote, remember in the movie how those claws grab the doors and hoist them up into the air to take them away? We're doing that too. And you're going along for the ride. So let's just take a minute to understand the implications of that. They have literally taken the concept of Monsters Inc., put it in a land, and the ride that everybody's mind goes to if they're doing anything Monsters Inc. related is that, right? It's riding the door.
I've said that before. Oh, this would be if we are watching Monsters Inc. at home, I'd be like, oh gosh, this would be the perfect roller coaster. I'm sure Disney has been thinking about this for a long time
100%.
too.
If I were to tell you there's a Monsters Inc. land coming to Disney, what would you want to see for an attraction?
I want to ride through the doors.
100%, right? It's just, obviously Disney drew the same conclusions as well, and that's what they're doing. And again, it looks amazing.
Yeah, agreed. So looking at the concept art for this attraction, it looks unreal. It literally looks like a track suspended in the air with side-by-side seats that are zooming past rows upon rows of doors, just like how you're going to see it in the movie. This has the potential to be a seriously well-themed and extremely fun and thrilling attraction. I know it sounds like we're hyping it up here, but I promise, go check out the concept on the Disney Parks blog website or the Disney Parks social pages. It just looks unreal. We cannot wait to see how they pull this off. Again, this has such great potential. The concept art shows the massive factory, which we can only assume is where the attraction will be housed, but they also share a couple of photos of what the land is going to look like. You see buildings that will more than likely be dining and shopping, and of course, where you're going to have your meet and greet with some of your favorite monsters. That'll be really exciting too.
Yeah, agreed.
There is a child walking through the land in one of the photos with 2 large ice cream cones with different flavors and monster-themed toppings, and obvious hint to an ice cream shop location being there in the land. It also looks like it's going to be super immersive. So, of course, we wouldn't expect anything less. This is Disney, of course, and we cannot wait to see what this is going to look like.
Yeah, agreed, 100%. I was 10 when Monsters Inc. released, right, in 2001, and it's one of my all-time favorite Pixar movies, so I'm really looking forward to this land with this new attraction. I just think it's going to be so special.
This is the one that, I've been waiting for something like this.
Yeah.
Just like I'm still secretly hoping that a Lion King's theme will come to Animal Kingdom one day.
Yeah, I don't know if it will. It's coming to Paris. We'll talk about that in a bit.
Okay,
but,
there you go.
It's also nice to see, to your point, though, it's quote unquote older IP, right? Because 2001, let's face it, it was 23 years ago.
That's a long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah, right? By
it still holds up, though. It still feels like it's
100%.
it's like a newer version of a Pixar, because Pixar,
it's so good.
Pixar doesn't look outdated, in my opinion.
Yep, agreed. Now, there's speculation here about where this is going to go, meaning where in the land is it physically going to be located, inside the park. We think that the most 2 likely areas will be Muppet Courtyard, near the entrance to Galaxy's Edge, or Animation Courtyard next to the new Little Mermaid show that's going to be opening later this year. I think if they replace anything, it's likely to be Grand Avenue in the Muppet area. And if they're physically, building out, it'll be part of the expansion, and it's going to be behind Animation Courtyard, right? So when you look at a map, there's physically more room back there. So time will tell on that front. We'll get more details in the coming months as we get closer to when they'll actually begin this project. Disney didn't give any concrete details about when construction will begin, but they did say that work is slated to begin in 2025. So we don't know when in 2025, but at some point in the near next year is when they should break ground on this project.
Yeah, very exciting. So, all right, the next announcement is less shocking because we already had some details about it, but now it is confirmed to be happening 100% with dates attached to it. So let's dive in. So Disney confirmed the new Tropical Americas area coming to Animal Kingdom, and it will be named Pueblo Esperanza. This new section of the park will take up 11 acres of the existing Dinoland and beyond. Disney said that it's just like Harambe. The land will feel lived in, meaning it'll look weathered because it's been around for such a long time. They said the space will have lush greenery, which makes sense given its location at Animal Kingdom, which is lush with greenery pretty much everywhere where you're
100%
walking.
everywhere you look, yep.
So this land is going to include 3 new attractions and one of the largest quick service restaurants on all Walt Disney World Resort property. Very excited about that.
Yeah, agreed, 100%.
The center of the land will have a beautiful fountain, which will kind of serve as the hub that is central to the smaller sub areas in the land. So nearby is where you'll find the first attraction that is going to be an original spin on a classic carousel attraction. The horses are going to be replaced with your favorite animals from Disney stories, which will appeal to a lot of the smaller guests.
Yeah, agreed, 100%. The other 2 attractions are going to be what Disney calls signature attractions, and the first is going to be Encanto themed. Okay, so this is going to be a ride-through attraction featuring the Casita and the Madrigal family. So Disney said, quote, "Inside the Casita, Antonio has just received a special gift, the ability to communicate with animals, and his room has transformed into a rainforest. It's time to go explore it alongside him, and you never know what member of the family you might bump into."
So exciting.
Yeah, 100%. So looking at the concept art, Disney will be recreating the Casita from the movie, like life size, and the attraction is going to be housed inside and like assuming some outbuildings as well. And from the concept art, it also looks like this is going to be a water boat ride similar to Navi River Journey. So you see guests in what appears to be like a boat, right, with rows, with a subtle waterfall up ahead. It's hard to tell, okay, but this is our guess based on what we see at this point. In the concept art, you also see the whole Madrigal family along with some of the animals from the movie, which we can only assume will end up being animatronics, much like the ones you find on the new Tiana's Bayou Adventure ride.
Absolutely.
Like the newer, nicer animatronics, right?
So exciting.
It looks super cute, and it's great to see the newer IP coming to the parks like this. Our daughter Sophia is a huge Encanto fan, so she's going to absolutely love this.
Absolutely. I couldn't think of a better attraction for Encanto than to go into Casita, in my opinion.
Yeah, of course. Like
that's it.
Absolutely.
Like,
Agreed.
do you know what I mean? Like, I couldn't, like, if they were going to come up with something, they did it right.
It had to be Casita.
Like, it had to be Casita.
Yep,
everybody wants
rooms,
to,
yep.
everybody wants to go into the Casita and feel the magic that comes out of there.
And, you know, it makes sense that they go with Antonio's gift because it's animal themed,
and
right?
He
and
has
it's Animal Kingdom. So.
a great bedroom in the movie, right? That when he gets his gift, you go into his bedroom and it's very cool.
Yeah, it's perfectly themed to the park itself.
Absolutely.
Yep.
It's a perfect fit in Animal Kingdom.
Yep.
So the second attraction is Indiana Jones themed, and Disney specifically said it will be different from any other Indiana Jones experience around the world. So does this mean different than the existing dinosaur ride vehicle, which is essentially a carbon copy of the Indiana Jones ride in Disneyland? We don't know for sure, but early reports are that it's going to be a retheme from dinosaurs, so time will tell. Either way, the attraction's theme will have Indy discovering a perfectly preserved Mayan temple, and he'll take you along for the adventure of exploring it. There may be a mythical creature deep inside, and we must go and find out if it's true. It sounds amazing. I love the Indiana Jones ride at Disneyland, so this really excites me. I can't wait for this.
Yep.
And from looking at the 2 concept art photos, the outside of the attraction will look like a colorful Mayan temple, and the ride vehicle shows a potential Indy audio animatronic and a ride vehicle that sure looks like a Jeep that may or may not be identical to the Jeeps that you currently see in Dinosaur.
100%. Like if you look at this photo, it looks like the Jeep from Dinosaur. Like it's colored different. It would make
sense if they kind of kept the similar stuff. It'd be less work for them, I would think, anyways.
Yeah, you know, but I don't know. Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, we'll see. Indiana Jones obviously fits perfectly with the theming here, and it's sure to be a huge hit. We're definitely looking forward to this one.
Agreed, 100%.
Yeah.
No matter what they do, even if it's retheming Dinosaur or doing something completely new, it's going to be good.
It's going to be fresh. It's going to be awesome.
So we won't have to wait long for work to start on this project. We're going to have to wait some time, though, before we're able to experience all of this. So construction is going to start this fall, so in 2024, but it's going to open, wait for it, in 2027. So
a little disappointing.
Yeah, so but not surprising,
No,
right? So given the scale of this development and what we know from Disney's history in developing, you know, new lands, the reality is that these things take time and a lot of it. So while it's exciting, it's still quite far into the future. So it's just important to keep that in mind. We know a lot of people are torn and are sad to see Dinoland go, but for us, we have no attachment to Dinoland whatsoever, right?
No,
We're happy to see it
nothing.
being refreshed. It's going to be, you know, it's going to bring new life to that area of the park, and it's going to be great for the park and for Disney World, like as a whole.
Yep.
We can't wait to see this area. It's going to be great for sure.
Absolutely. It's no different than Splash Mountain going to Tiana's. It was tough.
Yep.
But a refresh is sometimes needed.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep.
Like, and Walt, that was Walt's thing, right? Is that he was sad with animation with Snow White, because once it was done, it was done. It was out there. You can change it. It was always going to be what it was. He wanted the parks to be living and breathing and be able to
constantly moving,
changing with time and updating with
adapting.
time. And this is just a continuation of that,
That's what the Imagineers do every single day.
Yep.
All right, so there were several other announcements that were made for Walt Disney World, Disneyland, and the international parks as well. So we'll close out the Walt Disney World announcements, including the smaller projects, before we get into the West Coast and beyond. So Magic Kingdom is getting a completely new nighttime parade. This new parade will be named Disney Starlight. This nighttime parade draws inspiration from the Main Street Electrical Parade and will use the latest technology to bring new stories and characters to life in this magical show of lights. The parade will feature floats themed to Peter Pan, Encanto, and Frozen, among many, many more. The concept art showcases Peter Pan and Wendy, Elsa, the Blue Fairy, as well as Mirabelle, Bruno, and Isabella with dazzling lights numbered in the thousands, we're pretty much sure, with these lights.
We can only assume.
We can only assume. So given the advancements in technology since the first electrical parade and what they've done in the international parks in the recent years, we can only assume this is going to be phenomenal. We cannot wait. We love Disney parades. They also do them so well. Think Boo to You, Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas Time parade, but with a million lights. It's going to be epic, and we cannot wait for that. This is coming relatively soon in summer of 2025, so in a year or so. On the Disney scale, that's actually not too bad.
Yeah, 100%. Like when we talk about things opening, it's a year away. So yeah, it's coming.
It'll be good.
12 months, right? Somewhere in there, around there.
We can handle it.
Yep. And in 2025, which is soon as well, Walt Disney World will get 2 new lounges, one in Magic Kingdom that we had already heard about, but we got some new updates on, and one that we're happy to learn about, which is going to be in Epcot. So as Disney had first announced last year at the Destination D23 event, a Pirates of the Caribbean lounge was coming to Magic Kingdom with little other details. Well, now we know this watering hole will be welcoming guests of all ages in 2025. Disney said, quote, "Here, bandits and buccaneers to be from every corner of the 7 seas are welcome to join together and raise a toast to the pirate life." They shared a concept art photo that shows a space with a bar that looks like the inside of a ship, with like a large anchor suspended from the ceiling. Cast members appear to be dressed in pirates costumes, I guess you could say. And the space has pirate themed like artwork and artifacts hanging from the walls and rafters. It looks like a fun, inviting space that is intended for families and older guests as well. It looks great. We'll definitely be checking that out when it opens. They said it's going to serve grogs and grub, so expect a drink menu with some light bites. I wouldn't be surprised if this was similar, like in feel and concept, as Oga's Cantina over in Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, good comparison. That wouldn't surprise me either.
Yep.
And over at Epcot, we're getting a brand new lounge themed to Spaceship Earth. The lounge is inspired by the stories and the look of the classic attraction. Disney said that the lounge is, quote, taking inspiration from the geometric sphere. The Zen space to gather and enjoy refreshments will be draped with rich textures and warm metallic tones, giving it a mysterious and elegant intimacy. The concept art for this one looks much more upscale with small tables, elegant light fixtures, and definitely a more adult feel. The cast member in the photo appears with a collared shirt and bow tie. So expect this to definitely have a more subtle Disney feel, unlikely to appeal to probably the younger guests.
Yeah, agreed.
Also, looks like a really cool space, and we're definitely going to check this out. This is actually a nice surprise, and it's okay to have nicer places to enjoy on property.
Yep.
I'm actually all for it.
Yep.
This one is also set to open in 2025, so we'll keep our ear to the ground for further details on this one as well.
Yeah, it's nice to have those more. And it's not like kids can't go here. I don't know. They haven't said there's no kids in the
kids
photo.
Kids can go to Oga's Cantina too.
Yeah, 100%. Or like Baseline Top House, right? It definitely has a more like adult feel in the sense that it's beer. It's like pub food.
Yeah, you're not going to think to always stop with your kid there. And that's okay because there's lots of Disney adults that don't have kids that love going there.
No, exactly. And it's like, and it's not that we wouldn't go to Baseline Tap House with the kids, but we don't. It's just, it feels more like we go, we grab a beer,
that's
we grab
our spot.
Yeah, if we grab a pretzel, it's just more adult. It's like Nomad Lounge at Animal Kingdom too. It just feels a little bit more adult.
Absolutely.
And that's okay.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, agreed. And back at Animal Kingdom, we got a timeline for the new show coming to the Tree of Life Theater at the base of the tree at Discovery Island in the park, which is replacing It's Tough to Be a Bug. We knew this was coming, we just didn't know when. The new show will feature Judy Hopps, Nick Wilde, and other Zootopia characters on an adventure through the different biomes that Judy passes on the train right to Zootopia in the movie, right? So in the movie, she doesn't stop, but this is going to be expanded in the show. So the show is going to be named Zootopia Better Zoogither. Not together, together. And it opens next winter. So we're guessing early 2025 here, probably like January, February, I'd say. The concept art shows the characters wearing 3D glasses. We see Clawhauser, Gazelle, among many other characters as well. This is going to be a nice refresh, an IP that the younger crowd's going to recognize. So we're excited to see this one too.
Yes, this one will be really good. I love Zootopia. It's one of my favorites.
Yep,
so
the
this
kids
one,
love it too.
I think this is going to be great. And then back at Epcot, we got an opening timeline and further details on the reimagining and refreshing of Test Track. Disney said in partnership with Chevrolet, they will bring new elements while paying tribute to the past and pushing forward to the present and future. They said, quote, the queue will feature 6 distinct exhibits and within each room celebrate the vehicle and people behind the vehicles that push the envelope and help get people to our next chapter in our motion journey. They went on to say that there will be new show scenes with an emphasis on modern technology, customization, and personalization, which will end with a trip through a scenic outdoor ride, which we all know exactly what that means. The outdoor fast portion of this attraction isn't going anywhere, which is great because that's definitely our favorite part of this attraction.
It's probably most people's favorite
Everybody
part,
gets
right?
so excited when those doors open and you know you're about to take off.
And your hair is about to get crazy.
Yes, absolutely. So it's going to reopen in 2025. Just 2025, no season attached to it. So who knows exactly when this will be, but it's better than no update at all. So we're definitely going to take it.
Yep, agreed 100%. And lastly, for Walt Disney World, a new adventure is coming to Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. So this is both at Hollywood Studios and Disneyland over in California. The new ride-through will feature the same technology, but it will feature the Mandalorian and Grogu, which will be a fun refresh for the attraction. It's unclear if it's going to be a whole adventure surrounding them or a new adventure featuring them in a support capacity in some way. Either way, I'm going to go into it with an open mind, right? We're going to see what it looks like. The good thing about this is that with this type of tech is it's kind of like Star Tours, right? So over time, meaning like years and decades, they can update the story, update the scenes and just bring something different to it. Exactly. Make it fresh. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. So that was a lot for Walt Disney World. So now let's switch gears and head over to the West Coast at Disneyland Resorts in California, because there are some major announcements coming out there as well. Very exciting.
Yep.
Let's kick this off with some huge updates to Avatar coming to California Adventure. We know Pandora, the world of Avatar over in Animal Kingdom, is based on the original movie, and the new land in California Adventure will be based on Avatar, The Way of Water, and the new Avatar film being added to the franchise, Avatar, Fire and Ash. So it's going to have fresh elements not seen on the East Coast. Very exciting.
Yep.
They shared some new concept art photos of the space and the attraction coming to the land, and it looks unreal, just absolutely stunning.
Agreed.
It's going to be amazing. The already created world in Animal Kingdom is amazing, so I can only imagine what this is going to look like.
We have a blueprint of what they can do, right? So,
and then they can just keep going off of that.
Exactly. So
we know what Disney can do with the Avatar themed IP, so we have to expect this is going to be amazing as well. The concept shows jagged rocks that look like a giant bone rib cage, along with waterfalls and significant water features. It looks like there will be an area without buildings themed to buildings found in Pandora, where we can expect to find dining and merchandise locations. The concept art looks not unlike Navi River Journey, but on a grander scale.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah,
Yep.
So the attraction has the boats in open water surrounded by beasts and tree vines in an ominous dark green space. It looks phenomenal. We can only assume this is going to be amazing. I don't even have to assume. I know it's going to be
100%.
amazing.
Like you said, because of what we know what Avatar looks like.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, it's one of the best themes land in all of Disney
Agreed. Yep.
parks, across the world.
They nailed it on the head on that one.
Yeah, 100%. So we can only assume that whatever comes here is going to be at least on the same scale.
Absolutely.
So it's going to be great.
So Disney has said, quote, this new and thrilling excursion will bring all the action, excitement, and wonder of Avatar, taking guests all the way to the wide open seas of Pandora. So this is going to be a dynamic, intense, and emotional experience on a grand scale that we know our guests will love. It's kind of hard to imagine what this will be like, but judging by the language alone, we assume it will somehow be more thrilling than Navi River Journey.
Yeah.
One of our absolutely favorite lands in all of the Disney parks is Avatar. So it's really great to see that this is going to the West Coast as well. Curiously, though, we didn't get a timeline update on this. And so it's still in question mark.
Yeah, 100%.
Right now.
I was expecting something.
Something.
Right? So
yeah.
2025, 2026, whatever it is.
Yep.
But I was expecting something and they didn't. So
Yep.
it's just interesting. I'm
Yeah.
curious to know when they're going to break ground on that.
I am too. It'll be interesting.
Disney also announced another first for the Disney parks. A brand new Coco attraction is coming to California Adventure. So on brand for the movie's theme, the attraction will feature the characters you know and love with a heavy emphasis on the music. You're going to join Miguel on a trip to the land of the dead. Disney said Imagineers are taking inspiration from attractions like Haunted Mansion and Pirates of the Caribbean to bring the newest technology in audio animatronics for this new attraction. Based on this information, we have to assume it's going to be a ride like with an emphasis on the characters and the music, and it's going to be a water ride with cutting edge animatronics.
Mm-hmm.
You know, again, think of Tiana's Bayou Adventure, that new style of animatronic and the music.
So lifelike almost.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
And like looking at the concept art, it looks, you know, big and colorful sets as you flow through the attraction. Work is not set to start until 2026 on this one, so it's still quite a ways away, but exciting nonetheless.
Absolutely.
So this next attraction coming to Disneyland might seem less exciting to some, but it struck a chord with us, and we're just as excited for this as anything, given how much of a soft spot we have for Walt, right? So Disney announced that for the first time ever, a Walt Disney audio animatronic figure is coming to Disneyland. So let's just pause for a second here. A Walt audio animatronic at Disneyland. Like,
the place he knew and loved. And I can only imagine they will use his voice.
100%.
I can only imagine what is going to come with
just
all
hearing
this.
you say that, I'm literally getting chills.
Yeah.
And I know I'm going to get weepy.
Yeah.
Like
you know his voice is going to be used.
100%.
They're going to make it. They're going to take all the footage that they've ever had of Walt and create this beautiful, magical experience.
Agreed.
And it's going to be almost too much.
Yeah, I'm going to get emotional almost certainly.
I know.
So his audio animatronic is going to appear in a new show. It's going to be named Walt Disney: A Magical Life. The show will debut inside the Main Street Opera House at Disneyland. And after its initial run, it's going to be on a rotation with great moments with Mr. Lincoln. Tomorrow said, quote, "Creating our first Walt figure is a huge responsibility. And we've brought members of the Disney family along with us for every step of the journey."
I love that. Yeah, that's a great.
It's a nice touch,
it's
right?
great that they involved that family.
Agreed. So personally, we're really excited for this. We think it's going to be a great tribute to the man who started it all. And like I said, right, I can see myself getting teary for this one already.
I think everybody
just
will.
talking about it, like just it gives me chills.
Yeah.
So yeah,
we love that our daughter was born on Walt Disney's birthday,
December 5th.
Yep,
that's correct.
I planned that well. Okay, Disney presented this one in a fun way. They said that something along the lines of, you know, that big wall in Adventure's campus? Yeah, well, we're putting a major attraction back there, and boy, oh boy, are they ever. They are adding not one, but 2 attractions to Adventure's campus. The first will be Avengers Infinity Defense. The story is based on the premise that the technology that allows the Avengers to jump between worlds has gone missing, and King Thanos is responsible. Disney said, quote, "Recruits will travel to iconic locations like Asgard, Wakanda, and New York City alongside the likes of big and small heroes. You also might find yourself face to face with Thanos too." They shared several concept art photos, and guys, this is hard to put into words.
Yep.
This looks next level, like dropping in scale.
Yeah, think of like the big buildings and the big, you know, like shield
you feel
stuff.
small.
Yeah,
almost
exactly.
in
Like
it.
just the big scale, like techie stuff,
Absolutely.
buildings. That's what they've done here.
Yeah.
Like it looks next level. Yeah.
Absolutely. The entrance to the attraction looks massive with futuristic blue lights and larger than life elements. It's hard to put into words, but it looks like this is going to be unreal. The concept art shows Ant-Man in huge form, the Hulk with a crashed helicarrier in the background, and King Thanos approaching looking dangerous. It all looks amazing. We can't wait to experience this one. We've heard this ride vehicle will be different than the Guardians of the Galaxy, so time will tell what this is going to be like, but whatever it ends up being, we're sure it's going to be great.
Yeah, because when you look at the language, it's kind of like, you know, the tech that allows them to jump is stolen and they have to go recover it, right?
Sounds so familiar.
That's the thing. The premise is super
stolen.
similar to Guardians of the Galaxy, right? So, but
they
no,
do
apparently
that, they'd be so smart.
And again, like if they do it, it's going to be amazing. But apparently it's different. So difference
Time
good.
will tell.
Yeah, difference good. So we're excited to see. The second attraction is going to be Stark Flight Lab. So this attraction will have you board some Stark tech that is a 2-person pod that's going to be grabbed by a large robotic arm, and it's going to take you for like a wild simulated flight. Looking at the concept art, it looks very similar to the technology that you find over in Universal for Forbidden Journey and the upcoming Monsters Unchained attraction that's going to be at Epic Universe.
Forbidden Journey is one of our favorites. So if they can do this over in Disney, oh my goodness.
And when you look at the concept art, it looks super similar. So I have to imagine that the feel of the attraction is going to be similar as well.
That makes sense.
Either way, it looks wild, and we bet this one is going to be super thrilling and super fun based on our experience with similar ride vehicles. So work on these attractions is set to begin in 2025. Adventures Campus badly needed some like new and frankly just more attractions. So this is a welcome sight, and we can't wait to see what they're going to do with it.
Absolutely. Avengers has a huge fan base. So this is really smart
Marvel
on their
is
part.
massive, right?
Yeah.
And like you said, Avengers
We're fans.
too.
We love it.
100%. Yeah, absolutely.
And finally, we have a set opening date for Tiana's Bayou Adventure on the West Coast. So this is really exciting. This will open on November 15th, 2024. West Coast friends, get ready. It's your turn coming up this holiday season. It will be nice to see this finally open on the West Coast as well. I'm sure everybody's been waiting. The Disneyland, annual pass holders, they're probably really excited for this.
Yeah, 100%. If you're constantly going to the West Coast or you typically visit the West Coast, it's 5 months later, but it's coming.
You've been waiting, Yep. All right, so that's all for the announcements for the domestic parks. The international parks are also getting some love here as well.
So Disneyland Paris's second park, which is being renamed this year to Disney Adventure World, well, it's getting more TLC, and a brand new Lion King themed land is opening, and it's going to feature dining, shopping, character meet and greets, and a brand new attraction. So this attraction is going to have you join Simba on his adventure from cub to king, just like in the movie. The concept art shared looks like a flume ride with a drop that looks a lot like Splash Mountain or Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Yeah. So it's nice to see that. I'd like to go there one day, right? It's definitely a bucket list item for us.
Well, to see everything Disney owned in the world is on our bucket list.
Yeah, across all. Yeah, exactly.
We will get there one day.
All Disney parks would be certainly nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shanghai Disneyland is getting an all-new Spider-Man themed thrill coaster. They shared 2 concept art photos and they look really good. This ride does look like the Guardians of the Galaxy ride vehicles, so we're kind of curious to see if this is going to be an Omni coaster with similar tech.
Yep, agreed.
And on that same vein, Hong Kong Disneyland is also getting a new Spider-Man themed attraction. This one is themed to Peter Parker trying to showcase some new technology, but he attracts the wrong kind of attention and needs to get himself and you out of a tight spot. The concept art on this one looks like it might be actually a drop ride.
Yeah, it kind of looks like that.
Yeah, hard to tell. We'll have to see more details when that comes out on that front as well.
Yep, agreed. And honestly, like Lucy said, we'd love to visit every single Disney park at some point. It's more than likely going to take several years if it ever happens, right? But we'd love to do that. Like visit every single Disney park, even if
Japan,
it's just once. Hong Kong, Shanghai, Paris, like just all of it.
Yeah,
it would be
absolutely.
Awesome. Yep.
And on the nighttime spectacular scene for the international parks, Tokyo Disneyland is getting the Reach for the Stars Nighttime Spectacular kicking off on September 20th, 2024. And in January of 2025, Disney Paris will also debut its new Nighttime Spectacular with scores from Disney and Pixar with projections on the Sleeping Beauty Castle and along Main Street.
Yep,
That'll be 100%. A lot of fun.
Yeah, it should be beautiful. The castle there is just unreal.
It is.
Probably
it's
one of the
nicest
nicer ones. That and Shanghai. They're both like super grand.
Agreed.
And Disney didn't stop there with the announcements. So on the Disney Cruise Line front, tomorrow announced not 1, not 2, not 3, but a whopping 4 new ships being added to the Disney Cruise Line fleet, right? So that's going to be between 2027 and 2031. There are 5 ships in the fleet as of this recording, with 4 already in development, bringing the total to 9. So these additional 4 are on top of that, right? So on top of the existing 9, bringing the total to 13 overall. The names, designs, and itineraries have not been announced and are currently still in development, but it's exciting to think about these things to come based on the quality and craftsmanship that we know Disney Cruise Line is known for, right? It's great to see.
Absolutely.
Tomorrow also announced a fun tidbit from the Disney Destiny. So the signature production aboard this ship is going to be Disney Hercules with the music and characters you know and love from the movie. He also announced that the Disney Treasure will get the Tale of Moana as their stage production, which is going to include a giant puppet over 15 feet tall of Taka, right? So complete with like the glowing embers and flames.
Amazing.
So that should be pretty cool.
Absolutely. And we'll quickly touch on all the things that we found out on the entertainment side of things, which was released on Friday. So we know Moana 2 will open in theaters on November 27th, and they also dropped a new trailer, which looks awesome. Our daughter is going to absolutely love that. I will as well. Moana, I think, is a wonderful movie with amazing songs.
Agreed.
So I'm really excited about that.
Yep.
So we also got a confirmed title for the 3rd Avatar movie in the franchise, Avatar: Fire and Ash, and it's set to release on December 19th of 2025. And on the Disney Channel front, we got a sneak peek at the Wizards Beyond Waverly Place with a trailer showcasing some of the behind-the-scenes actions. And this one I'm really excited for because I love Toy Story.
Me too, yep.
Toy Story 5 is slated for June 19th, 2026. The toys you know and love will have to contend with electronics, very topical in today's climate.
Yeah, leave it to Toy Story to hit you right in the feels, right? Like, kids and spending too much time on their tablets and just not being outside and not being as engaged as they used to be,
it's gonna
right?
be amazing. I love the Toy Story franchise. One of my favorites.
Yeah, agreed, 100%. Pixar also revealed a new film slated for 2026 named Hoppers, which will star John Hamm. We got scarce details on that, but we're going to keep our ear to the ground for more. A new Inside Out series named Dream Productions is also coming. It's going to be set in between Inside Out 1 and 2, like between the two movies, and it's still going to feature Riley's mind. Incredibles 3 is also in the works. We got no details other than it's going to be made, right? So we love the Incredibles, so we love to see that.
Absolutely.
Either way, right? We got an update on Elio, which was initially supposed to release in 2024, but it's been pushed to June 13th in 2025. And Pixar also dropped a new trailer for a series called Win or Lose, coming December 6th of 2024. It looks super cute and is sure to be worth the watch. They dropped a trailer as well, so go check that out if you're curious.
Mm-hmm. Frozen 3 is coming in 2027, and get this, Frozen 4 has been confirmed as well. A taped version of the Broadway show will also be added to Disney Plus in 2025. The Greatest Showman will receive a Broadway adaptation, which we are thrilled about. We actually really love this movie. I saw it and then I said, okay, Oliver, you have to watch this movie. And he's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, initially
sure.
I saw it and I was like, really?
Okay. And he could not take his eyes off the screen.
100%.
The Greatest Showman is an excellent movie. Everybody should watch it.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's going to be an amazing musical. I would definitely go and see that.
Agreed.
And Hercules is coming to London's West End. This also has awesome music and is such an underrated Disney movie. This is likely going to be an amazing show. Zootopia 2 will find its way to theaters in November of 2025. Cannot wait for that one.
100%. We got a trailer for Marvel's Agatha All Along coming to Disney Plus on September 18th, so that's right away. And for Star Wars, Jude Law is starring in Skeleton Crew, so this is going to be a new series coming to Disney Plus this December with 2 episodes launching on December 3rd. And last but not least, Percy Jackson and the Olympians is getting a new season coming to Disney Plus in 2025.
And they also announced Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan coming back to Freakier Friday.
That's right. I forgot about that one.
And I actually really liked the first movie.
Yeah.
I thought it was really well done. And I love Jamie Lee Curtis. And
yeah.
hey, Lindsay Lohan has made a good comeback. So I'm really excited for that one.
I forgot about that one. That's awesome. So is that enough for you, right? So the number of announcements and confirmed projects we got this weekend is just unreal. The domestic parks are getting some massive updates, upgrades of all shapes and sizes. The international parks are getting some attention as well. Disney Cruise Line is more than doubling their fleet with everything they have in development and everything coming down the line. Everything appears positive for the future of Disney, which is just great to see.
Absolutely. And as you know, if you've been listening to the podcast, we're partial to the East Coast. And in terms of announcement, we could not be more thrilled. The East Coast got a lot of exciting news.
100%. Yep.
So there's so much to look forward to in the coming years. And this is what we're always talking about. The parks are always changing, always giving us a reason to go back. So why wouldn't we? It is so exciting.
Yeah, agreed 100%. Like I just, I get asked this all the time. Like, why do you keep going back? Why do you love it so much? And it's just, at the end of the day, the answer is it makes me happy. I don't think I need
kids happy.
Exactly. I don't think we need any reason beyond that.
I just wish it wasn't so expensive. But other than that, it's the perfect spot for our family.
Agreed. 100%. So with that, what are you looking most forward to?
The Villains is going to be pretty amazing. I'm pretty excited about that. I'm also really excited about Encanto.
Okay.
Yep. I find Encanto to be a colorful, wonderful, but land. I think they can do so much with it. It's going to be so vibrant. But the Monsters Inc. ride, this is the ride I've been waiting for. So.
Agreed. Yeah.
You?
Monsters Inc.
Yeah.
Like Villains.
Just walking into Monstropolis, right?
Yeah,
that's going to be amazing.
Like, and I think that, don't get me wrong, Villains is going to be amazing. And looking at the concept art, like I'm flabbergasted. It's going to be amazing. You're going to walk
into this dark, stormy area. It's
just going to be
phenomenal.
Yeah. But there's just something about Monsters Inc. and that ride with the suspended and
that's
the doors.
What everybody has been waiting
100%. I think that's just going to be so special.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, that's the one I'm probably most excited for. Although I'm excited for all of it.
Yeah.
This is the ride. Truly, the Monsters Inc. one is the one I've been waiting for.
Exactly. Like talking about what's our favorite. It's such a good problem to have. Everything sounds amazing. And
absolutely.
we're super looking forward to it. So with that said, thank you for joining us today to talk D23 news, and what a weekend it's been so far. Make sure to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss any future episodes, and if you could leave us a rating and review, it would be greatly appreciated. You can do that right on Apple Podcasts, and for Spotify, you actually can't leave a review, but you can leave a rating.
And you can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at letsgo.to-disney, as well as on our Facebook page, Let's Go to Disney, where we share more tips and have some fun as well.
Have a great day, and we'll see you real soon.